Living here now is even better than we imagined.
We bought the land in 2021. I think even before we owned the land, we were at Quality Homes talking to Diane about our vision. And 2 years later, here we are, living in our home. Welcome to our Quality Home.
Come on in and take a look around. This is our front foyer. We've added about 4 feet to it, which allowed us to get the front door in the foyer area. And it allows us space to build a nice bench so we can put our shoes on and off when we get old. It's been a lot of fun settling in, not only to the inside of the house, but to the outside of the house, getting to know the lay of the land, the lighting, the creatures. I've had deer at my doorstep, and to have the opportunity to be so close to nature and build a home in the heart of it. And this is our open concept living space. We added the vaulted ceilings and the windows along the wall.
The overall process was excellent. We really appreciated the hug guarantee timeline for when the house would be placed and when the house would be livable for us, when we'd have occupancy. That was a big feature for us. You know, the guarantee and price was good, but that date was more critical than anything else for us.
One thing I really liked about the process was the guided handoff from one of the Quality Homes professionals to the next one, whether it was from the salesperson to the permits person to our site manager. All of the handoffs were nice and smooth, and we knew what was coming next.
And we have to thank Peter, our site manager, for being so patient with us.
And he answered every question that we had about how this was working, how that works, what happens next. He answered everything. He was so responsive. He really took care of us. This is the kitchen. This is one of my favorite spots in the home, even though I don't cook a lot. The only thing that we've changed is adding drawers where some of the cupboards used to be. Like this island is all drawers, and the drawers beside the oven. It's a perfect working space for company over there and me over here.
We were very impressed with the standard choices, through Quality Homes. We didn't have to upgrade everything. The selection of the standard features or the standard finishings that they offered was better than what we would have purchased at a big box store. We didn't have to spend a lot of extra money, right, to get the house that we wanted.
It's funny when you're in your personal selection day and you're making all the choices from samples and things. It's really neat to see that it really looked how you imagined in the end. It's perfect. One thing every home needs is a little bit of extra storage space for the kitchen, and we've got it built in right here. This is what was added when we stretched the home a little bit. It gives us space for a freezer, which is really important living in the woods in winter, and tons of shelf space. We did have a pre-delivery inspection. It was kind of fun, actually, going through every single nook and cranny of the place.
On that day when we were here with Peter and he walked us through the house to show us the ins and the outs of the house, as we're walking along, we would point out very small, little tiny imperfections. And as we were going, he had 2 guys following us. By the time we walked around, it's, oh, you fixed that already? Oh, you fixed that already? By the end of the tour, we had very little to put on our list.
Getting the keys to our home after the pre-delivery inspection, it was a little bit surreal. Everyone left, the place was quiet and empty except for the 2 of us, and we just sort of stared at each other and said, we're here, this is ours now. It was such a bizarre feeling because we were in our dream. One of the best parts of having a quality home build is that the house is done. It's looked after. We can get on with our landscaping and getting on with our lives.
My best piece of advice for a potential quality home buyer is to start with a list of essential things that you need within your home. We selected the wood stock, and it checked off 90% of the boxes for us, right? There was a couple little features that weren't quite exactly how we wanted it. So we approached Diane, our sales consultant, and asked her, what would be the implications of adding, a vaulted ceiling in the great room, or adding 100 square feet by extending the length of the house. And we were so impressed with the pricing of each modification. We were actually surprised by how reasonably priced they were, that we went through with every modification we asked for. So not only we check off all the essential boxes, but we also got the other boxes checked.
I know it's difficult to dream up a house plan from nothing, but Quality Homes has so many plans, and they're so easy to work with to get those changes made to really make it your own. This is one of our favorite spots to come in the afternoon, sit under our custom covered back deck. We can watch the birds, have a beverage, and just relax and let the day unwind.
The cool thing about the front porch, the suggested roof line that the wood stock has for the optional front porch, we went to Diane and we said, let's do something different. Let's put a peak over that roof. And even though this is a modular home and they're building hundreds of these houses, right? There's probably, I don't know how many wood stocks they've built over the time in Ontario, but we know ours is custom. Ours is different than any other house in Ontario because we added that feature.
In the mornings, I get up pretty early and I can look outside, and because it's peaked, I can see the sky. So I get to see the stars in the morning or the full moon like today. And even in the afternoon when we get home from work, we'll grab a coffee or a water and just sit on the front porch and just watch nothing out in our front yard. Every time I try to think about what my favorite part of the home is, I'll say this open concept vaulted ceiling, and then I'll walk into another room and no, that's my favorite thing, and then I'll walk into another room and no, that's my favorite thing.
And then, you walk outside and you're on the covered porch.
And that's my favorite thing.
Yeah.